I'm sad not to be here with you in person to say goodbye and to honour my father, but I am glad that you are here, whether in person or in a virtual way as I am myself. My father was a kind and fun-loving man, but he also had a rare presence and a calm authority. He was a gifted leader. He saw a vision of how things could be, and he patiently, tactfully, graciously, and wisely provided leadership in our family, both Harhoff and Sanders, our church, and in his work. As my cousin Karen says, my father was a carrier of God's image of meekness and majesty. And my father loved my mother deeply and truly. What ended last Friday, at least in the temporal sense, was a story of true love that started when my father was 18 and my mother was 14. Their love affair held fast and strong all their lives together. For us, my brothers and myself, not everything was rosy. Mixed in with the good times, we had our trials as a family, and these were not insignificant. But one thing was always utterly clear. Our parents adored each other. They remained in love through thick and thin. And the last 10 years of their story have been very thin indeed, with their sudden exit from South Africa to help and support family here, having to make a new life for themselves, all the while with a growing realization that our Bard was slowly slipping away from us. And then 3 years ago, having to surrender to the unthinkable when it became clear that our Bardy needed specialist care. Making this decision was terrible for us and devastating for Mum, who would have given her last ounce of everything to have been able to care for him herself to the end. And then, when the inevitable move apart happened, still she visited him every day to hold his hand, sing to him, pray with him, and the two of them would sit just looking into each other's eyes as they did when love first blossomed for them. The words of this song that they both loved became very real for them. Believe me, if all those endearing young charms which so fondly we gaze on today were to fade by tomorrow and flee in our arms, like fairy gifts fading away, thou shouldst still be adored. As this moment thou art, let thy loveliness fade as it will, and around the dear ruin each wish of my heart would entwine itself verdantly still. I've settled on this one memory from our childhood to share today. We three, Thane, Leith and I, would watch eagerly around 5:30 each evening for the car, a Valiant, I think, to come cruising up the driveway. "Daddy's home," we would excitedly inform each other. Mummy had been home all day, let it be noted, but this did not occasion the same level of glee somehow. As he climbed out of the car, we would be very interested to see if he was holding a newspaper folded open, because that meant he had scanned the "What's Showing" page, and he would shortly announce, "We're going to the drive-in." Mom would quickly spoon our dinners into Tupperware containers, one for each of us, with a blob of mash, a pile of peas, some carrots, and a very small lamb chop doused in gravy, and off we would go. Me in the middle between Thane and Leith, the human buffer between the excited little boys, back and forth, friendly punching and pulling. We would finish off our dinners, a very tricky affair in the dark back seat, cutlery and all, as we watched the Looney Tunes cartoons and the advertisements for Brill Cream. The forthcoming attractions were a bit of a hazard, because you never knew what adult content might be slipped to our innocent eyes and ears. Ever watchful, Dad would be ready. "Iola, quick, the nappy!" And Mum would whip out one of Leith's cloth nappies to hold up to the windscreen. Then came the main feature. They Call Me Trinity. Dad loved that series. So hilarious in the early 70s. That was the cue to bring out the chocolate. Out came a bar of Cadbury nuts and raisins, and Dad would break off just one little block for each person, and the rest was carefully wrapped up in foil again and put away for the next time the Harhoffs enjoyed an evening at the drive-in. Fast forward about 10 years, and my father is walking me down the aisle to where my future husband is waiting. He turns to me and says quietly, "It's not too late to change your mind." Which brings me to the essence of what I want to say. I've been blessed every day and every moment up to now in my life to have been under the protection and held in the love of an extraordinary man. First, my father. He embodied for me and thereby taught me the meaning of the love that God the Father has for us, his children. And then my husband. He embodies for me and thereby teaches me the meaning of the love that God's Son, Jesus Christ, has for us, his blood-bought brothers and sisters. So, my Bardy, I did not change my mind that day. You did for me what the best fathers are meant to do for their daughters, and then you gave me to the man who loves me now. In this time I feel deep thankfulness also for my brothers, for Thane and Leith, stalwart sons, fine men, not in the same way as their father, but gifted, good, godly, funny, and wise in their own ways. And my own sons and daughters, grandsons and granddaughters, what a godly heritage we all have, reaching back to many generations before my exceptional father, and beckoning forward to all of us, and to the generations that are emerging now in this time of fearful peril combined with bright optimism. My father would have said this, and it is what I say. Lord, you alone are my inheritance, my cup of blessing. Whom have I in heaven but you? The earth has nothing I desire beside you. My health may fail and my spirit may grow weak, but God remains the strength of my heart. He is mine forever. My Daddy, with all of my heart, I love you.